It is the talk of North Georgia in the grocery stores, at the gas pump, around the coffee maker, at work. Everyone's talking about the storm that's headed our way, the snow, the sleet, the ice. What is it going to be? And in our studio, by phone, we have now Habersham's Tyler Penland. He is the guy who knows it all. And Tyler is going to tell us what's going to happen on Friday. So, Tyler, are we going to have snow? Is it going to be sleet? Or are we going to have ice?
Yeah, hey Nora, it's good to be here this morning. How about all three? How's that sound? So good news and bad news. We are going to see snow. There will be snow, first time in 3 years. However, it is going to change over to some sleet and freezing rain at some point for the vast majority of Northeast Georgia.
Okay, so I like the first part. Tell us about the snow. Let's get excited about that.
Yeah, snow is my favorite time of weather. It's not always my favorite to forecast, but it's definitely my favorite type to watch. Um, so it looks like the on the latest weather models, the timing has backed up just a little bit. We were expecting it to start mid morning. Now, probably a little bit earlier, just hours between 8 and 10 a.m. We'll see snow start to move in from the west as this low pressure system approaches. The snow will overspread the entire region by probably 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and it'll stay snow for a few hours for most of us, which is nice. That'll give us a chance to get probably 2 to 4 inches of snow across Habersham County. Up in the mountains, they could be at 3 to 6, especially Rabin County, up towards Dillard and Sky Valley, where you could be seeing 6 plus inches. Definitely in the realm of possibility up there, because they will be the last ones to change over to the dreaded sleet freeze rain mixture that will be impacting the rest of us. And that sleet and freezing rain will kind of gradually push north. There'll be a line that you can draw pretty much, and it'll go from snow to sleet to freezing rain. And the heaviest snow will be right along that sleet line. So you'll see some really heavy snow, and then it'll turn over to sleet. But that's expected to happen between lunch and 3 p.m., depending on where you live.
Okay, so for those of us who are not weather savvy, what does that mean when the sleet comes in? What happens to my beautiful snow?
It melts, unfortunately, not along the ground, but way up in the air. So as that pressure system down over the Gulf of Mexico moves east, the upper level winds will shift from the south, because it'll be blowing south to north ahead of the low pressure system. And what that does is it pushes warm air up from the south up into our region. And near the surface, we have these lovely mountains that can kind of help trap that cold air. So it'll kind of sit, it's heavy, so it sits right along the ground or closer to the ground. The mountains kind of stop it from going anywhere. And that warm air rides up over the top of it and melts all that beautiful snow that's sitting up there in the clouds, just waiting to fall to the ground. And so as those melted snowflakes, now raindrops fall, they fall through that cold air, either turn into sleet or freezing rain, depending on how thick that cold air is. Thicker cold air means sleet, thinner cold air is freezing rain.
And so, what does that mean to us? Does that mean the roads are going to be horrific? Is that the opportunity that you bust your bottom on on the stairs in your home? I mean, what literally happens there?
Oh, absolutely. Sleet is probably the worst thing that can happen to a road in terms of slick. It doesn't melt quite as easily as does, and it just kind of forms this thick layer of just ice over the top of everything. And it's been cold all week. I mean, we were very chilly this morning. Going to be cold again overnight tonight. So the roads are primed to just freeze right up once everything starts. And I know DOT's doing everything they can, but a lot of the secondary roads and things and sidewalks and your porch will become very slick very fast. Makes for fantastic sledding, but is terrible for the roads.
Okay, let's talk about sledding. Tell me your best sledding story.
So obviously, I love sledding when I was a kid. I'm 33 and I still love sledding. I've got two kids of my own that are 1 and 3, and I'm getting them into it, and they both love sledding. Um, I still sled down the driveway to this day, as fast as I can possibly go. However, probably my best stories come from college, where I went to UNG there in Dahlonega. If you're familiar with that campus, there's a big, very steep hill right in front of the library.
Oh yeah.
They put like a sidewalk and stuff there now. That didn't exist when I went there, or it was where it was put in while I was there. I can't remember for sure, but anyway, we would sled down that hill in whatever we could find, whether that was a kayak or a garbage lid. Because we're college kids, we don't have sleds just sitting around. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's probably my best stories.
I love that. You know, I have a sledding story. It didn't turn out really good, but I was with my kids and we were sledding down a hill in our home, and they were in front of me, and I realized that we were going a little too fast, and so I decided that I was going to put my foot down, and when I put my foot down to slow us down, I hit a hole, and when I hit a hole, I broke my ankle, and so it was 8 weeks in a boot and physical therapy and everything else. And so, you know what? I gave up sledding. It wasn't worth it after that fall. So please be careful when you put your feet outside of that sled, for what you're putting you're putting your foot on. I know that a lot of people around town are looking for sleds, but you know what works really good as a sled is a cookie sheet. Have you ever used one, Tyler?
I have not tried a cookie sheet, although I've got a couple. We may have to try that out this time and just see what
Uh-huh.
happens.
You gotta scrunch up, you know? So a sled is much nicer, but if you have a big cookie sheet, something about that aluminum, you can get going pretty good, especially if you're a kid. Tell me this, how long
I
is it
feel like
gonna last?
if you spray some vegetable on the bottom, it might go really fast.
Oh, now that's a good
I don't
idea.
know, but that seems like it might work.
Uh-huh.
Um,
I love that. Um,
as far as how long it's going to last, it should be out of here overnight. We'll see rain, sleet, freezing rain, whatever it is, all the way up through sunset, and up to around midnight. At that point, the mountains will likely keep some wraparound snow, um, probably through like mid morning or early afternoon on Saturday. But for most of us, it will be over before the sun comes up.
okay, so the potential that the roads might be functioning by Monday is high.
Yes.
Okay. Oh man. So everybody's so
Yeah.
excited about school being closed. You want a Friday and a Monday. So you have the whole full effect. What are the
Hmm.
possibilities that things could change? Like what are the possibilities that it'll start snowing and that sleet won't come and that it'll keep snowing? What do you think?
That's always possible. So one of the fun things about snow in the South is that it's really hard to get snow, but it also means there's a lot of things that can change really fast. It's a lot of things that have to go just right. You have to have the cold air in the right spot, and you have to have the low pressure system in the right spot. So if that low pressure system winds up 25 or 30 miles further south, it can make a massive difference in whether or not it's all snow or we see more ice or freezing rain. So it's definitely a possibility. You never know. You never quite know what to expect here in the South until it's happening. So
Yeah,
we
we
can
s-
make all the forecasts we want, but the weather's kind of going to do what it wants to do at the minute.
yeah, we saw that with Hurricane Helene. How it just literally at the last minute turned and didn't hit us. And we were very
Yep.
fortunate. Our neighbors weren't, but we were very fortunate. So it could happen, and we could have this amazing snow all weekend long. What do you think?
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay,
yeah. I hope that's the case. I love snow, so I
I
hope
hope.
that's the case. I do not like freezing rain or sleet.
I
So
know that you are going to be keeping us updated, and so I want to let all of our listeners know, stay in tuned to Now Habersham, because we are going to be giving you updates from Tyler as the weather progresses, and you will be in the know at Now Habersham. Thank you so much, Tyler, for joining us and for always being on top of things.
yeah, you're welcome. I'm just glad that for the first time in 3 years, I got to type winter storm likely. So
I love that
that
too.
was
We
that
have
was an
not had
exciting time
anything
for
for
me.
3 years, and I am extremely excited for that. And I know there are a lot of kids that are too. You are very liked by them right now, so I hope it pans out for you, Tyler, so you can be their biggest fan. And thank you, now Habersham listeners, and we will keep you updated on the winter storm headed our way.